Joining me today on NYSE Floor Talk is Savneet Singh. He is the CEO and president at PAR Technology Corporation. Savneet, it is wonderful to have you here. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
So let's start off by talking about PAR Technology. Tell me about the company.
So PAR is a platform to run your restaurant. We serve large enterprise restaurants or fast-growing restaurants, but really what we do is help put together a disparate set of technologies that restaurants have been dealing with. Over the last 5 or 6 years, restaurants went from primarily on-premise businesses where you're coming in, placing your order and leaving, to digital businesses. They have loyalty programs, online ordering, web programs, catering programs, tons and tons of technology. And what we do as PAR is come in and try to unify that into one system to help them focus on their guests instead of the technology that can be very distracting.
Now, Savneet, tell me, how did PAR go from near bankruptcy to $1 billion software company under the leadership of a young team?
Well, we had a lot of luck, but I think the key thing we got right was the people. I think business is about dealing with problems, and I think all problems are people problems. And so we really obsessed over our culture, and early on we set out a very narrow set of values that were super harsh, super severe, and super intense because we wanted believers to come on, because we knew the problem was acute. We knew we had a really short time to turn around the company. And so we were able to kind of recruit, I think, a team of rebels, people with chips on their shoulder, who really wanted to come solve a big, hairy, audacious goal. And we've kept that going. I think now, 5.5 years into the journey, I think our team now is hungrier than it was five or 6 years ago. So while I could say we made a great plan and we financed and did all that stuff right, it was the people that really solved it. And I think that culture is really what's our moat today.
Now, how is PAR driving digital transformation in the restaurant industry, and what are you most excited about?
Well, I think the transformation we're driving is helping these very, very fast-growing brands or these large established brands come into the digital world. Today, most restaurants solve their digital needs by buying a piece of software from company A, company B, company C, company D, in the hope that all those companies are going to work together and give you, the end customer, this beautiful digital experience. But that's really hard because none of those companies were meant to actually work together. They're kind of point-to-point integrations. And I always say that, what's sad is that restaurants have actually tried really hard to be that amazing restaurant that you and I went to as kids. At the same time, we're expecting them to be Amazon.com, all from the same four walls. And that's kind of impossible. And so what we do is we go and look at all those different technologies, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and say, hey, what can we unify onto one system so that you can use the PAR platform to run your business? And so today, we offer everything from loyalty and online ordering to point of sale and back office. We give it to you in one platform. And so you can kind of take control back of that experience. And what I think is exciting about that is that simplification, vendor consolidation, unification, whatever you call it, is actually the greatest tool for that brand to be like, okay, now that I don't need to manage all 5, 6 of these vendors, now that my data is all clean and organized, now that my team actually knows how to use these tools, what kind of experience do I want to create for the end guest instead of a cookie cutter mobile experience, a cookie cutter online order experience? So that's what we're really fascinated by. In terms of what we're excited by, I think what's exciting about serving restaurants is that restaurants are ephemeral. They are emotional. There's like this visceral belief that the food that we eat and how we eat it, what we pay for it, like if a restaurant changes its menu price by 50 cents, we go crazy. But every other good we buy goes up and we don't really notice it. There's like this emotional connection. What I'm most excited about is using technology to actually enhance that connection. Because I think so far, technology is almost a wedge. You get to a restaurant, have a great experience, and you got to pull your credit card, sign, there's something wrong with, it's not been the tool that made you closer to that meal and moment that you love. And so I'm excited about is taking all this technology and all this investment and saying, hey, how do we actually make it simple so that you, the guest, and that brand get closer to each other and we can create that sort of visceral, ephemeral experience that we're used to.
Finally, Savneet, tell me, what strategies have you used to build and maintain a strong company culture at PAR during its rapid growth?
Well, first off, we're intense about it and we're very deliberate. So we have literally just 4 values. And the reason we have 4 values, which are speed, ownership, focus, and winning together, is that they're harsh. It is not about have fun. It's not about curiosity. We're telling you up front, speed and ownership and focus are 3 of our 4 core values. That's intense. And the reason we do that is that it's a good filtering mechanism. You're not applying to PAR and thinking okay, this is gonna be an easy 9 to 5. You're coming to PAR because you have ambition, you wanna build something, you wanna grow something. And that filtering process on the way in, I think is the best thing we do because we tell you, I end every interview and say, hey, this is gonna be a hard job. This is gonna be super intense. This is not gonna be easy. And what I think is really neat is if you went to the employees at PAR and we survey our team quite regularly, almost everybody would say it's a hard place to work, but at the same time, they would give us super high employee NPS ratings because we tell you that coming in, we sign you up to go to war, and I think that's the best thing we've done. Outside of that, I think the thing that every company can do is that if you really live by your values and your culture, you gotta pay by them. And so we work really hard to say, okay, if this person's living by our values and they're performing, we should pay them a bunch. And so we try to match our culture to who we're actually promoting and paying, because in the end, I think who you promote, who you pay, who you sort of galvanize as the heroes of your company, are actually the type of characteristics of the culture you want to have. And so for us, we can have these beautiful values, but they have to match to who we're actually rewarding. And I think that's how we get great performance.
Well, Savneet, it's been wonderful to talk with you.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining me on Floor Talk.
I appreciate it.